food, Europeans thought that the tomato was poisonous. What? So apparently, rich Europeans ate their tomatoes on pewter plates, which, guess what, had lead in them. And because tomatoes are acidic, whenever people ate tomatoes off the plates, the fruit, because they're a fruit, remember, would leach lead from the plate and become poisoned, and then people would eat it and die. And everyone blamed the tomato, but the real killer was right under them the whole time. And apparently there's a story about George Washington where one of his cooks tried to assassinate him by putting a tomato in his soup. But that didn't work because they're harmless. And also Snoop said the whole story was false. So, boy, were they wrong! Here's something else. In medieval times, back before we really knew about diseases and immune systems, if someone was sick, doctors would just be like, ugh, you just got bad blood, man. So what the doctors would do to remedy this would be to slit your wrists and let them bleed all of their blood out. This was called bloodletting. And also something cool is that it wasn't surgeons doing these procedures, it was barbers. But surgeon barbers, not the ones who cut hair. And they were called that because they carried big scissors around and cut people's wrists. And also according to Wikipedia, that's the reason barbershops have red and white poles in front of them.
Right? I was totally not ready for what was about to happen. This group of people walk in and we do our normal thing, we get up and we chase them, but Balake got pretty physical with this one little boy. Like he kind of shook him up a bit. And I didn't see exactly what happened, but apparently this little boy was holding a fish in a plastic baggie. You know those little tiny fish that are actually supposed to be used as food for bigger fish that you can win as prizes in fairs, and 99% of the time the fish die within 2 weeks because you don't have the right aquarium equipment, so you just put them in water and watch them slowly die? You know those fish? I didn't think people were allowed to bring their new pet fish into the haunted house, but I guess he smuggled it in or something. I didn't see the kid drop the fish. Maybe Balake slapped it out of his hands. That could have happened. I just heard a scream and I saw a fish flopping around in a puddle on the floor. Fish look like they're in so much pain when they're out of water. I don't flail around uncontrollably when I go swimming, like calm down, fish. I'm silently panicking because the fish looks like he's going to die in 3 seconds if we don't do something. I start thinking of places we can put the fish. The toilet. But Balake, without saying anything, just immediately bent down, cupped the tiny fish in his hands. He ran back to the table, he put the fish in an empty goblet, and then he poured red Kool-Aid into the cup. Nah, I'm just kidding. He got a water bottle from under the table because they gave us water bottles, and the fish was fine, ladies and gentlemen. It all happened so fast, and thanks to Balake's quick thinking, he saved this little kid's fish. The kid was still a couple of feet down the hall. Balake took the goblet in his hands, he walked it over to the kid, he reached out his hand to give the kid his fish, and then he just chugged the drink! Balake! So I had a hamster once, and one day I was cleaning its glass cage outside and I had it flipped upside down. And I thought, I wonder if I can stand on that. There was blood everywhere.